Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
So, I have just got done watching the 8th and final episode of this first block of the 3 blocks of the final season of my favourite show, The Walking Dead. So, this was, the final episode of the first block, guys, and yeah, so, I have, a few mixed feelings on this episode, but, the ending made me, looking forward to the next block, so, yeah. I'm going to talk spoilers about it. So, yeah. So, join me, Lucimus Prime, as I review The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 8, titled For Blood. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this episode now, guys. Now, this will contain major spoilers, guys. So if you guys haven't seen today's episode, I suggest for you guys go watch it right now before you watch this review. So, yeah. So I'm going to talk in spoilers. So, yeah, here we go. So this episode continues where the previous episode left off, where Maggie's horde, she's made with wearing her Whisperer mask, is approaching Meridian. And the Reapers notice this, and Leah is able to recognise the walkers' very unusual movements when they're being herded. Pope asks Daryl about this, if he's aware of this, strange movement, but Daryl denies his knowledge of them, so he keeps secret, his knowledge of the Whisperers. So, yeah, he's keeping his secrets. Pope then commands a Reaper named Wells to head out to lead the walkers away from Meridian. But when he's leading them away through, into some sort of forest area, Negan, who is in disguise as a walker with his Whisperer mask, attacks him from behind and stabs him in the stomach. And then the walkers then devour him, and then Leah loses contact with him and tries to contact him, but then I think Negan stole his walkie-talkie, so yeah. And Pope knows that Wells is dead because he purposefully let him out there as a bait, so he knows what move Maggie is making. He suspects that she's made her move. And Leah is less concerned about his personal hatred of Maggie and is more angry about the fact that he let Wells die out there. Pope then shifts the guilt onto God. But Leah says that it wasn't God's decision to send Wells out, it was Pope's. So this is starting, to show a sign that she's starting to not love Pope like she used to before. Meanwhile, now infiltrating Meridian has been harder than first expected because the Reapers have placed landmines all over the ground and they begin to blow up and, destroy some of the walkers, but Maggie and Gabriel, who are in disguise as walkers with their Whisperer masks, manage to sneak off to the other side. Daryl is able to spot them with binoculars, and he heads over to where they are. There's a Reaper that's on patrol there, so he distracts him by offering him a cigarette. And he drops the packet on the floor, and when Reaper tries to pick him up, he stabs him in the neck, so yeah. Then he throws his body over the other side. And Daryl tells Maggie and Gabriel to head to the back of the base where he unlocks a door for them to infiltrate it. Now, when it comes to Negan and Elijah, who are in disguise as walkers, things aren't going very well because when one of the landmines blows up, the shrapnel hits Elijah and it injures him. So Negan leads him off to the side. And, to make matters worse, Pope decides to bring out the Reaper's heavy artillery, which is an explosive launcher. So it looked like some sort of makeshift SAM site or something, but yeah, it looked pretty interesting, to be honest, guys. So this finally makes Daryl tell Leah about his connection to Maggie, that he was once part of her group. And that there's people that are walking with the dead, his people. He pleads with her to help save his family, but Leah is upset that he lied to her. But before they can continue their conversation about what he's revealed, Pope joins them on the rooftop. Now, in Meridian, Maggie and Gabriel separate. Gabriel holds up in a sniper perch, to provide support, while Maggie hotwires a truck. And she uses it to break down the front gate, which allows the walker herd she's made to enter. Pope, who is consumed by his personal albeit somewhat mysterious rage about Maggie, orders one of his soldiers to fire the massive DIY weapon into a courtyard where his people are currently holding off incoming walkers. This upsets Leah, who protests that it will kill their people too, because it, the explosion will be really powerful, won't it? But once again, Pope tells her that God will protect them. And as Pope lashes out saying the Lord speaks through him and he is not to be questioned, it becomes clear that he has a significant God complex. Which, confirm what, we've been thinking before when we first met him. Daryl has enough and he tries to attack him, but Leah instead beats him to it, and she puts a knife through Pope's neck and he falls to the ground, and then she finishes him up by stabbing him again in the neck. So yeah, and I will admit, guys, that, I was very disappointed that Pope was killed so early into this season, because I thought he was a very interesting villain, guys, and I thought he would have, a big role in this season. But sadly, he wasn't in it much because he got killed off in this episode, sadly. But yeah, and after this, with Pope gone, Daryl wants to take Leah's hand to escape and bring her back to Alexandria, but Leah instead turns on him, and then she contacts her team saying that Daryl killed Pope. Daryl asks her why she did that, and Leah says that Pope forgot what mattered, not war, people, her people, and that he'd do anything to protect his family, and so would she. The Reapers then arrive, but before they get there, Daryl is able to escape by jumping off the balcony below to join Maggie. Leah informs her team that they're going to kill everything inside the walls, which means, Maggie's group, including Daryl. Now, when it comes to other plots, guys, there was another story happening involving Alexandria because there's a really nasty storm happening. And the high winds are sending a piece of the already vulnerable wall flying into the air. And not only that, but the lightning has also caused a fire to break out in the windmill. So yeah, which is prompting everyone to divide into groups of 3. Aaron decides to be a firefighter, Carol focuses on repairing the wall, and Rosita stays behind to protect the people sheltering in a house. Judith wants to help Carol, but Carol tells her to stay behind and take care of the kids. Eventually, however, the walkers breach through the broken wall and they surround the house, trying to break through. We got a pretty cool moment of Rosita, guys, where she headed out to take down loads of walkers, which was pretty cool. I couldn't make out what weapon she was using, but it reminded me a lot of Lucille. It looked a lot like Lucille's weapon she was using, but it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, however, things still go wrong because the front door has lost its hinges and the group decides to head upstairs and defend that position instead. Judith is able to help everyone upstairs, including Virgil, who is, still injured after the events of, the episode where, he was attacked by those horrible cannibals, which I'm not going to speak of because they were creepy as hell. Judith realises that Aaron's daughter Grace is nowhere to be found, and eventually she finds in the basement where it's flooding. And Grace is down because she's looking for a weapon to use like ones that Judith and Rosita have. Judith finds one for her, but unfortunately, the walkers have already breached the house. And as they are forced back into a flooding basement. So yeah, and that's when it ended. So it ended on a very big cliffhanger there for that side, and it ended on a cliffhanger here. Because when Daryl joined, his group, Leah orders the launcher to fire, and it begins firing, and but they never showed who got hurt by it. They never showed even hitting anything yet. So I've got a feeling that episode 9 will probably reveal it, maybe. You see, because that's when the episode ended, because they never showed who got hurt. So yes, it's leaving me curious to know who has been hurt by the missile launcher, or explosive launcher, whatever you want to call it, but yeah. So yeah, with Leah becoming the new villain of the show, escaping the Meridian and bringing back the food to Alexandria has become much more harder than they thought, yeah. Hopefully Daryl can talk sense into Leah. If not, it's possible. He maybe wants to take her out, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we, guys? So yeah, it's making me, wondering what happened, but still. This episode was pretty decent, guys. The action was really good, but the only issue I have is I don't like how Pope was killed, because I feel like, we're going to use such an interesting villain only to have him killed off. I didn't really like that. I wanted him to have a much bigger presence in this show, to be honest, but yeah. Sadly, he's been killed, but yeah. But yeah, I don't understand why, you know, Leah chose to kill him and then turn evil, you know. I don't understand that. Pretty strange, isn't it? But yeah. All in all, though, guys, so the next half of the series called, you know, Season 11B will be airing in 2022 in February. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, I can't wait. So guys, this is me in The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 8, titled For Blood. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave in the comments what you guys thought of today's episode of Walking Dead, if you've seen it. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on it. Also, be sure to join Team Plan by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.